Okay, well, welcome to our vision board party. I am so excited for you to be here. And I'm just excited to share with you about vision boards because a vision board is more than a goal poster. For years and years, I have made goal posters, and yet not always achieved everything. And so we're going to learn some different things on the vision board. And if you have a question, put it in the chat box, and then we'll get to that at the end. And as I said earlier, there may be some conversation going on. I've got some questions, few to ask along the way. So visualization is one of the most powerful mind exercises we can do. It's called the law of attraction, which might sound odd to some of you, but stay with me, okay? I'm going to explain this as we go. First, let me introduce myself. I'm Coach Diane Burton. I'm also an author and a speaker. And I'm just going to be sharing some things with you that I've learned about vision boards. And then if at the end you're like, I want more guidance and support with vision boards or even in other areas of your life, because as I said, I'm a coach, then reach out to me and I'll share with you about my coaching and or mastermind programs. So let's talk about the law of attraction. And I've got some different notes here, so I'm going to be looking down every now and then. So the law of attraction is the ability to attract into our lives whatever we are focusing on. In other words, usually our thoughts turn into things, okay? If you focus on doom and gloom, you will remain under that cloud. And here's the thing, for years, I believed things that people told me when they bullied me because of my weight issue. And so I believed that lie and I lived it. And that's that vision, okay? So think of those things. If you focus on positive thoughts and have goals you aim to achieve, then you work to find a way to achieve them. And it's what Paul teaches us in Philippians 4, 8, and 9 to think on these things. So as we're going along, take notes. If some thoughts come down, if some words come to you that you'd like to have on your vision board, some feelings, write them down. Because I have learned that if something comes into my mind, I better write it down right away because usually it comes and then it's gone. So a few years back, and some of you may remember this. Does anybody remember the movie The Secret? Y'all remember that? Anybody? Okay. They wanted us to believe that just thinking it would happen. However, I spoke with someone who was a part of this movie, and they shared that they weren't allowed to tell us that it also takes action. So yes, the mind is powerful. And what we think about, we will bring about. Because when I think the doom and gloom, that's what's in my life. If I think the positive, that's what's in my life. So got to have a lot of faith as you're working on this. And remember that faith without works is dead. Faith motivates action. So do the work so the work works for you. Now, you don't become what you want, you become what you believe. Oprah Winfrey said this. And I agree because I believed the things people said to me as I was growing up. And I programmed myself to that. I lived that lie. There were a lot of things I wanted to become. However, what I was believing was sabotaging what I wanted. So once you can accept the idea that negative thoughts can create negative energy, it's not a big leap to entertain the idea that positive thinking can create positive energy. If you could attract one thing, okay, I want y'all to, if anybody wants to unmute, which I hope you do, please interact. Tell me something. If you could attract one thing, what would it be? Somebody tell me.
cure for cancer.
Oh,
And COVID.
yeah, that is great. Yes, absolutely. Anybody else?
I don't know if anything we say can beat that.
My first thought was good health.
Good health.
What did you say?
Yeah, she said good health. And what were you going to say, Sherry?
I was going to say, I guess more opportunities, so to speak.
Yeah.
I think a lot of times when you box yourself in, like you said, with your mind thoughts, you tend to see less opportunities.
Absolutely. Let me share with you guys a quote, and I shared this on my Facebook today, and now I've lost it. I think I'm going to remember it. My husband said this. Here it is, right in front of me. My husband said this yesterday when he was teaching Bible class. When we lack faith equals lack of opportunity for God to bless us. Is that not powerful? I'm going to repeat it. Lack of faith equals lack of opportunity for God to bless us, to bless you. So it's really important to get rid of that doom and gloom, the negative thoughts. And this is why a vision board is so powerful, is because when you've got the good things on it, then your mind is going to focus on that, because one of the things you're going to do, and I'll talk about this, is you want to look at it. Okay. It is something that you'll want to look at on a regular basis. So get to know the real you. Okay. Some of us haven't always been the real us. We've been what people thought we should be. Okay. How many people do you know that are in a business because mom and dad said this is what you need to do? We had a Hallmark movie on a while ago, and the little boy was like, oh, I want a guitar. And they walked out with a violin because mom wanted him to play a violin. Too many times that happens. So become what you believe, be the real you, be who God intended you to be. So shape your life how you want. Our attitudes and beliefs create a magnet to attract things to us. It can bring opportunities to live out those attitudes and beliefs. So creating a vision board is a tool that helps you narrow down your greatest dreams and present them in a way that consistently reminds you of your life goals. Now, I'm going to mention this, Abby, I mentioned this before you got on. One of my friends that's on here has 7 granddaughters, 5 in one family, 7 granddaughters. And I said, imagine what this could do for children in school. And so when Abby registered, I thought, oh, wow, she could take this to the children at school and help them have a better year, a better life by teaching this. So I was so excited to think what this could do, how this could be a ripple effect. And be sure that when you're writing things down, you put what you want.
Is it already on?
Uh-oh, somebody's coming on. There, she muted, Kathy. So I've asked, when I'm coaching, sometimes I'll ask people, what do you want? And they start telling me what they don't want. So be sure when you're putting things down, it's what you want. Because if you put down what you don't want, you're still focused on that. Okay? So vision boards and the power of choice. They allow you to consider and examine your dreams and goals and desires and create a focus around the most important ones. Sometimes we have dreams and goals, and then something else comes along and you realize, you know what, this is better. I'm going to go this direction because this is a better thing to be doing than what I thought I wanted. Because sometimes those goals and dreams are there because again, that goes back to somebody telling us what they think we should do. And so that's where we were. So the process of choosing what to put on your board is simple and it's extremely meaningful. Once you've identified your wish or desire, find images that represent them. And I'm going to share in a few minutes some things that I'm working on. My vision board isn't finished. I've been working on it and I'm having so much fun with it. So I'll give you some ideas. So discerning your intentions, take a moment and ask yourself, what do you want? What do you need? And what do you value? That last question to me is huge. What are the things you value? Because when we know what we value, would y'all agree that we will work our dreams and goals around the things we value? A lot of times, if we haven't really thought about the things we value, we just start making dreams and goals because someone tells us that's what we should do. And we forget. Boy, Abby's like, yes. We forget about what our values are. And so get that in there. And then think about how you want to feel when these things are a reality. How do you want to feel? Be intentional. In John Maxwell's book, The 15 Laws of Personal Growth or of Growth, he has the law of intentionality. And he says, growth doesn't just happen. You've got to be intentional about it. And so that's what's going to happen with this vision board. It's going to help you to be intentional with your dreams and goals. Okay, visualization and the brain. Y'all, your brain is an amazing and incredibly complex machine that is geared toward making us successful with every action we take. In fact, when we imagine ourselves preparing for an activity, our brains actually run through the process and send signals to the rest of the body to complete the action. Do y'all agree? Think about that. We start preparing for an activity and the brain begins to run us through the process. Okay? Consider what happens when you're anxious about something. Do many people visualize the worst case scenario? And it makes the whole body feel awful. Okay, by a show of hands, how many of you have ever had something happening and you begin to visualize the worst case scenario and your whole body just kind of gets out of whack and shaky and nervous and everything? Yeah, I have a feeling we've all been there. So I want you to think about this question. What are you allowing your thoughts, your imagination to do to you, to do to your dreams, and to your life? My thoughts, you know what my thoughts did to me for 40 years? My thoughts sabotaged me. My thoughts kept me from being all that I really could be. Y'all, that's a scary thought, you know? So realize that your thoughts, what are they doing to you, your dream, and your life? It's so important to have really good thoughts. Now, your vision board, you want it to focus on feelings, not just material things. See, when I was making goal posters, it was all about putting material things on the board. Y'all ever been there? It's like, oh, I want to do this and this. And so it was all material things. And I want you to really also put things on here that have to do with your feelings. I've got lots and lots of things made. I'm going to show you a portion of one board. This is a board I bought at a store that sells lots of arts and crafts things. And I could spend hours in there. And at the right here, see the quote? That was all that was on it, and I've added things to it. So I've got pictures, I've got a scripture, I've got one thing that says, how many lives have I touched? Have I touched yours? It's like, okay, I want to have that thought. And then I have a picture that says, I feel like this when I read my Bible. Can y'all see that? And then I have a picture down here where I'm hugging myself in the mirror. So I have things like that, and I have lots and lots of other just words and quotes and pictures of things. So it's not just about material things. For example, okay, let's say that you love Disney World and all things Disney related provide you a sense of joy and happiness. So what if Mickey Mouse makes you happy? Then put that on your vision board, because looking at it is going to bring joy to you. It'll cause you to smile. So that's what's happening is I've been printing things off. It's like, that brings me joy when I look at it. It makes me smile. It can also be a photo of a family vacation. I have a picture of my daughter and I when we went to London, and another time went to Mount Crested Butte, Colorado. You know, those on my vision board will bring a smile to my face. You want these to maybe trigger love, security, some form of positive energy. So think about it and write this down as you're thinking about it. What's a place or a memory or something that really brings you joy? You may want to put a picture of that on there. You may want to put things on your board to show that you have a vision of personal growth this year. I've got a lot of things on here for spiritual growth, my relationship with God and Jesus. I have things that are going to pertain to family, relationships, you know, just so many different things. So collect your thoughts. The goal of creating a vision board is to bring everything on it to life. Okay? So when you look at it, it's going to bring that feeling of enthusiasm and excitement. And for me, even I can do it spirit. I can make this happen, because I do have some things on there that are goals also. Okay. So it's going to be fun and exhilarating. So in order to help you start sorting your thoughts, consider what your goals are in your relationships. What are your goals in your career and finances? What are your goals for your home? I'm going to tell you guys, I have always wanted to have a house with a water view. A really, really, really good water view. Not just one that you have to kind of go, well, if I look through that tree a little bit, I might see a little bit of the lake. No, I want a water view. And so when we're here where Ken and I live, we have 2 lakes, 2 rivers, lots of water. And we drive around and look at houses and stuff. And I'm always like, oh, look at the view that house has. So, you know, it's still there. It's a vision I have. What about your, in the category of travel or health? And again, personal growth, spiritual, social life, education. Take a quick mental inventory of each category. And as we're going through this webinar, write things down that come to you. And that's what's cool is you can break it off into these different areas of your life. Okay. Now, the Bader-Meinhof phenomenon. Like, what in the world is that? This is known as the frequency illusion. It's a type of cognitive bias your mind creates to confirm whatever information you believe is truth. Once you create a space for what you want to believe, your brain will start looking for those things in the world around you, drawing it towards you and making it a reality. You know, if you are maybe down and out about something and you're like, why did that happen to me? Your subconscious mind is going to go, I'll tell you why. Let me give you all the reasons. And so the brain is really powerful. So let me give you an example of how this works. How many of you have ever bought a brand new vehicle, got the color you want, and you're going to be the only one on the road with that? And you get out with that new car, and all of a sudden, that car and that color is everywhere. Y'all had that happen? Yeah. When my mom passed away, my son bought her Toyota Camry. And he said, I never knew there were so many of these Toyota Camrys on the road until I got this one. And it's what happens is you become aware. And so your brain is like, look. So that's what that is. So what you focus on expands, it grows. So let's bring this to life. Before you start constructing your board, take some time to consider what general message you want your board to convey. For example, do you want it to convey calmness? Do you want it to convey inspiration, energy, happiness, joy, empowerment, spiritual, positive? What do you want it to convey? And it can convey more than one of these. It's important that it conveys life instead of, ugh, why did I put that on there? And you dread looking at it. Okay? Yes, we set goals for things that we must step it up to make it happen. I believe if it's heavy when you look at it, it's probably not a true visualization for you. Okay? So that's where you want to kind of go, okay, let's see what's going on here. Taking a few moments to think about what emotions you want your board to convey can also help you decipher the images and words and general aesthetic you want your board to have. Okay? Now, what's your vision board style? Okay, this is going to kind of show your personality. Some people don't mind a little bit of clutter and disarray on their board. Others prefer everything to be precise and in its place. So you've got to decide the aesthetic you want to go with and be sure you have the right materials. Okay? And if you go to Pinterest, you can see all different kinds of boards. And there are some that things are just laid on top of each other. Well, for me, I'd have to be going, what's behind that, you know? So do you prefer using scissors or a knife? Well, a single marker, let's say that you're going to use this color, or you're going to use, say, a black, and you're happy with one color. For some people, they need lots of different colors. Because as you write things out, if you'll notice on my Feast to Live right here, I did different colors. Okay. And this scripture is in purple. So, and I've got some other things here. Let me see. Oh, I've got some things that have like a money goal. I put that in green. I have a picture of yourself that you can put on there. I found this and I thought, oh, I want that to feel good, you know? So you can look and find different things that really speak to you. Let me see if there's, okay. And do you like your marker to be a fine, thin tip or a real thick tip? What colors do you like? You know, if there's a color that you're like, oh, like I wouldn't probably put anything, I wouldn't intentionally pick a brown marker because brown's not, I just like, no, but I use black and I use red and I use green and I use purple, you know, I don't know. It's kind of crazy. So do you want to have one board or many? It's up to you. See, I've got this one, plus I've got, I bought, oh, here we go. I bought some poster boards this size. Okay. And then I have the great big normal size poster board. You could, and I'll get into some other ideas here in a second. So you determine the size and scope. You could have one, you could have several. You know, you might have some of you might have some in your office where you work, and then you might have some at home with two different things on it, or it could have the same things on them. But you want one at work so that it keeps you in a good frame of mind while you're at work, and you want one at home. Or you might want to put one in your office, one in a bedroom, one in the kitchen. It's totally up to you. That's what's fun about this. Maybe you have an event coming up. Maybe you have a wedding or a vacation, or you're going to move, a new job, something like that. So you can create, they could be this size, you could have a little bitty one, and you could have some great big ones. Of course, you got to keep in mind wall space and where you're going to put it. And do you want it to match the decor of the room? Lots of things to think about. Now, we're going to gather our materials. This is fun. You can find things, of course, on the internet. Some of these that I printed came from images I saw on Facebook, and I saved them. I've been saving them over the years because I love the quote or I love the picture. And so I was going through some of that in my files where I saved it. I was like, ooh, I like that one. I want to keep that. And like this one. Ooh, can you see it? That speaks to me. So that one's going to go. And then I just have words in different fonts and different colors that I'm going to put on there. So you can get them in magazines, things from Facebook. Google a quote if there's a quote that you like, because when you Google it and you go to the images, you can find it on there all kinds of ways, you know, the stock photo and things like that. Maybe you have a picture of a family member or of you. I've got a picture of myself. They recommend that you put your picture on there because I have a vision of speaking more. Here's one that somebody took. It's not the best, but hey, it's a picture, helps me visualize me speaking. Brochures, pamphlets. If you're wanting to purchase a house, go to a real estate company and get one of their books and cut a picture out. Now, you can use poster board. You could use a picture like I got at the store. You could use cork board if you want to be able to just put it on with a push pin. This store also had where you could clip pictures. You know, I could have bought a great big frame and you can clip the pictures on that way too. So that can be fun that way. You want to be careful of what you use to glue it or tape it down. What I've got on this board, I just use double-sided tape on the back of it. There was one of the, in my research, I read a book, well, I was reading it on Kindle, and she said Elmer's glue isn't the best for like pictures from a magazine. You want to, she loves just good old paste. But I like double-sided tape also. And then you can even put like jewelry, you know, embellish it with the cool looking stones or whatever you want, a star, diamonds, you know, have fun with it. Get stickers. I love stickers. So you could do it with that too. And of course, be careful to use, if you're using precious items or photographs, use acid-free removable adhesive and double check that it's safe for your photos. Now, set up your space. Set a time aside. Make this a special, fun event. You might want to set aside 2 or 3 hours and just say, you know what? I'm going to work on this and I'm going to create this, because that 2 or 3 hours is for your whole year and even things in your life. Okay? Because some of mine, like me wanting to speak more or coach more, that's not just in 2021. That's for as long as I'm on this earth. I want to be able to do that. So take the time to create this. Really take the time and give it a lot of thought, because it's going to make a difference in who you are and how you are. Set out all your supplies on a large flat surface like a table or the floor. Okay, now some people will want to play music or light a candle or the diffuser, you know, really set the tone for that and get really focused on what you want it to be. Remember, what you focus on grows. You want to be sure your year is focused on things that are uplifting and empowering. You want it to be something that when you look at it, it gives you that better mindset, that joy, peace, energy. It brings you back to who you are, what you want for your life, and why you are on this earth, your purpose. I believe a lot of people are just existing. They haven't taken the time to dig deep and really know what their purpose is on this earth. And so a vision board can help with that. And you know, I truly believe most people in their purpose, they want it to have to do with being able to make a difference in their life and the lives of others. And it's important to have that really good, positive energy for you so that you can then do and make a difference for others. And if you want, like Lori is going to have, she and her daughter are going to do it together. Invite some friends over if you want to. And as I said earlier, do the work so the work works for you. Now, add affirmative words or phrases, quotes, just like this says, just words. I have a lot of just words that are going to be on mine, such as joy, empowered, love, strong, financially free, whatever words speak to you. And as I mentioned earlier, mine's going to have a lot of scriptures on mine too. So what are some of your favorite words? Here, I want y'all to unmute. I want you to talk to me. Somebody give me a favorite word or phrase or quote.
Loving.
Loving?
Loving.
Okay, loving. What else?
Healthy.
Healthy, yes.
Joy.
Joy.
Be still and know that I am God.
Ooh, I like that.
Giving.
Yeah. Giving.
Consistent.
Consistent. That's a good one too.
Balanced.
Oh, I like that. Balanced.
Joyful.
Make a partner.
Joyful. I was looking to find some of my words that I've got.
But God.
Oh, I like that. But God. Yes.
Being present.
Being present. Yes. Ooh, are y'all getting some ideas here?
Mm-hmm.
I'm writing.
Say that again.
I'm writing.
Oh, I've got the segments of the fruit of the Spirit.
Mm-hmm.
I like the phrase act as if what you do makes a difference.
Yes. Yes. Very good. Oh, I've even got a song that a church hymn that I like, and I've got that printed off to put on there. And I found this. I have no idea where I found this, but I printed it off. I'm going to read it to you because I thought it was pretty cool. A love note to entrepreneurs. Don't wait for permission. Change something you care about. Touch one person. Make a difference to a handful. Launch ideas from the heart. Build a legacy. Keep your values. Understand why you're doing this. Remember, it doesn't have to matter to everyone. Learn how to see the world as it isn't. Allow possibility to feed your soul. Embrace failure alongside success. Make people your inspiration. Let passion be your master. Make meaning your currency. If you could do anything today, what would this be it? What would your this be if you could do anything? So, there's just different things. Now I'm going to cut some of this out because I'm not going to have the word don't on mine anywhere. I would say, go for it type of thing. So I'm going to cut through this and not use all of it. Okay. And I had that written down. Be careful of using not words such as don't give up or never give up. Instead, I keep going. In Nehemiah 6:3, where Nehemiah was rebuilding the wall, he said, I'm doing a great work and I can't come down. And I changed it to my wording and said, I'm doing a great work and choose to keep working. That just, I know Pat's laughing at me, but it's a choice, Okay. So make it real. Make it real list. Once you've created your board, make a list of things that you can start doing right now to live in alignment with the intentions and wishes you've just outlined. The thing about living intentionally is that you don't have to wait for external things to change in order to create success. You can choose to feel how you want to feel right now. Now, we've got to remember there will be things out of our control, including other people. So come up with actions and intentions that can be performed within your control and will fall under the categories of thoughts, feelings, emotions, choices, and personal actions. None of us, this time last year, none of us would have thought going into 2020 it was going to be what it was. I had been saying for several months, oh man, everybody's going to have these 2020 goals. I have 2020 vision. It's going to be all about 2020 vision. And then it was kind of, knocked down. And many people just regrouped and was like, okay, I'm going to embrace what's going on and it's all going to be okay. And I'm going to learn how to make it work. And that's what I have seen so many people that's what they have done. And so none of us had control over what happened, yet we could take control over our thoughts and our feelings and our actions. And so if something comes along in your life and it begins to feel like you're getting knocked down, get to that vision board and focus on what you can control, knowing you can control the thoughts and actions and words. Okay. This is so important. And this is why this vision board will be so important, because we will have those days. And when we can look at our vision board, we're going to go, oh yeah, This is bringing me back to what my purpose is. This is bringing me back for my reason of doing what I do. Okay. Well, there's going to be times where you want to update your board. Our life course changes, and so will our vision board. So there may be times throughout the year that you want to revise things or even recreate it. You might look at it and go, wow, everything's happened. I'm going to create another one and we're going to have even a bigger vision. Or you may look at something and go, you know, I've changed my mind on that vision. I want this instead. I want to, you know, it's like the person that has started out in college with a plan of what they're going to do, and they change their major. And there are a lot of people that change their major 2, 3, 4 times, and it's fine. I'd rather somebody change their major and do what they love to do. So if there's something on that board that, as you look at it, it begins to feel heavy, find out what's going on. You might opt to build in an empty space so you can add things as you go, or you might make it magnetic. There were also the magnetic boards, cork board. Make it where you can edit it. Maybe you prefer to set a date for revisiting your board, like around your birthday, at the end of a school year, or just before New Year's Eve. And take time out of each day or week to contemplate your board. Ask yourself whether you're living in step with the intentions on the board. Ask yourself if your habits are the habits of the person you visualize. Do y'all get that? You know, there's a lot of times people will put things on their goal posters, their vision board, and they'll say, I'm going to do this. And yet the habits they're doing are not the habits of what they want to achieve. So make sure that you are doing the habits of the person you visualize. And if not, ask yourself what habits would be good to do to be the person you visualize. Reflect on why you chose those specific images, phrases, and mementos. Now, this is huge. Be in gratitude. Look at that vision board and be in gratitude for the things in your life. Ask yourself whether the actions, thoughts, or feelings could be altered in order to better align with the future you picture for yourself. Okay. Thank you. And I'm gonna cut this off in a second, the recording, and then we can chat a little bit. But I just want to thank you for being with me. I love getting to chat with you and share this with you. I hope you learned something valuable and that you're now inspired to get busy and make your vision board, or to get with some others and have a party. Share it with other people. And remember, if you have questions, you can email me. We're going to talk here in a minute. But for those who are watching the recording, email me at coachdianeburton@gmail.com, or find me on the Facebook group. And okay, who is willing? I want to see some hands, I hope. And we'll talk a little bit more about this after the recording. Who's willing to make a commitment that you're going to get this board finished? Yes, I love it. I love it. Okay, I can't see everybody right there. Okay, yes. Do I see some hands? Yes. All right. All right.
How about just start and not finish?
No. You got to finish it. You got to finish it. Okay. Now, remember, if you want to learn more about me as a coach, being coached by me, joining one of our masterminds, any of my programs, just message me and I'll get with you. So let me stop the recording.